Good morning. So we are live, and I'm back in the UK. It was a bit of a shock to the system yesterday. I actually landed on Wednesday, but then had an event on Thursday in London because I'm insane. But I wanted to talk today, first live back in the UK. I wanted to talk about how do I talk about my offer without sounding salesy. And if you don't want to be that person, if you're really comfortable selling what you do and you don't mind like just literally, pushing it, this is probably not for you. But there's a lot of people who, are experts in what they do, great business owners, but they don't want to be that person that just promotes what they do. And so what happens is they avoid promoting what they do and then wonder why nobody's buying. Like, somebody's going to need to see what you do 7+ times for them to really get it and maybe go, maybe that's for me. Maybe I should buy that. And what happens is our discomfort with selling, and I know because I've been there, right? Our discomfort with selling basically means we avoid promoting what we do. And then we go, maybe people don't need this, so I'll change it and I'll do something different and I'll tweak it again and again and again. And the issue is you're not showing the value of what you do because of maybe a little bit of, dare I say it, being squeamish about selling. There's nothing wrong with being squeamish about selling, by the way. A lot of people are. So how do we get over that, or how do we do it in a way that's comfortable? How do we promote in a way that doesn't feel salesy? And the real simple way to think about this, if you're looking and thinking about your social media like a TV channel, and I talk about this a lot, there's the adverts, yeah. So there's the TV show, what you're posting about, and coaches and business owners and subject matter experts love to talk about insights and all that kind of stuff, but then forget to promote what they do or avoid promoting what they do. They avoid doing the adverts in the episodes. So value, 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 no adverts, and then wonder why nobody's buying anything. So here's a simple tip. I'm going to break this down and show you how to do it. So if you think about your social channel as a TV show, you've got the content that's adding value and doing all that stuff, right? You've probably got that nailed, right? Or we can talk about that in another session. You've then got the promo posts, which are the ones where it's like, hey, I've got 5 places to work with somebody. I can solve this problem, discounts. Now, if you're not comfortable doing them, that's fine. Here's a way you can do it. Product placement. So product placement is something that's used in TV shows all the time. And it's where, in an episode of Friends, Ross and Rachel and Chandler and all of those will drink a can of Coke. It's subtle, but it might happen in the episode a few times. They don't draw attention to it in the same way as you would with a commercial, TV commercial, but they drop it in as kind of part of the story, but it's not kind of like, hey, look, I've got Coke here. Do you want some? I'm going to show you how you can do this in a couple of ways in your own content so that you're at least subtly promoting your offer. So you're getting people to think about maybe between the lines, you could help me. So we're going to look at those, and I'm going to talk about a couple of different things that you can do. So let's start with the easy one. So this is all about product placement. It's not about you selling per se. It's about you positioning and helping people see what you do and them kind of reading between the lines that you can help them solve a particular problem. So are you ready? Here we go. So number one, right? Instead of doing how-to content, so by that I mean how to get clients on LinkedIn, or how to get more confidence, or how to overcome imposter syndrome, instead of doing what we call how-to content. Do how I content. Here's how I approach, help my clients solve imposter syndrome, and walk through and explain your process. So any kind of problems that you solve for clients, instead of saying how to, do a post and say how I. So you're making it clear that's what you do for people. And at the end of those posts, just literally say, if you have that similar challenge, I can help you. Drop me a DM with to get started. Real simple. That's the scary bit, asking people to do that. But start doing how I, not how to. How to could be anybody. It could be somebody else's advice. How I is your unique way of solving that, the way you approach it. So that's really powerful. So that's the first one, how I. So start writing how I content, and it's subtly positioning you as the expert. So that's number one. Number two, what I call win on Wednesdays. Now, in my newsletter, you can find it on any of my socials. You'll see join my newsletter. I have something called win on Wednesday posts. Now, these are really simple, and this is like a client story. So it's not about like a case study. Hey, aren't we amazing? We've just solved this problem for everybody else. Feels a bit icky doing that kind of stuff. Feels a bit self-promoty. So what you do instead is you actually do a win on Wednesday, and it becomes all about the client's journey, their struggle, their challenge, how they felt about the problem. A tiny smidgen of this is how I help them solve the problem, and literally what happened next. So it's social proof with a little bit of education about what you offer. But the idea is that people can see the client's journey and go, oh, that's similar to where I am. Maybe you can help me. So again, it's subtle. So these are all subtle ways for you to promote what you do, especially if you find that kind of promotion stuff icky. So we've done how I win on Wednesday. And then this one you can't do all the time, but maybe once every, couple of months. You need to kind of introduce yourself. And we forget this, right? When you're on social media, you don't have the same people seeing you all the time. Every day you post, you have brand new people seeing you. So there are people discovering me today that have never seen me before. And I have the opportunity to just say, hey, here's what I do. And it can be as simple as, over the last few months, I've been growing my network. And probably a lot of you are wondering what the hell I do. So here's what I do. And just literally explain to people what you do. Dead simple, right? And I think we overlook this because it's so obvious. Surely everybody knows what we do. And I found, after doing social media for a decade, that if people have to join dots, you've made it too complicated. We're not getting smarter on social media, right? The algorithms are not always working in our favor. We got new people seeing us every day. So why not every few weeks just do hey, I've got a whole new crowd here at the moment. This is what I do. If it fits for you, give me a shout. Just be really cool about it. This is so easy to do, so simple that actually we miss it. And it's just so simple and easy. Anybody can do it. And then I've got a fourth one I want to share with you. I think the first two are probably the biggies, the how I's and the win on Wednesdays. But this fourth one is literally so obvious, but we miss it again. All you need to do is tell people why, not what you do, why you do it. Tell people why you do it. So when you have a good call with a client or you'll help the client overcome something, the Win on Wednesday tells their story. Tell your story, why you loved it. Tell people about what got you excited. What was the big moment for you? Yeah. And I even just tell people like, I'm so pleased for one of my clients because we've been working on this issue, and I've seen loads of people get into difficulty with this issue, and they've finally got their breakthrough, and I just feel on top of the world because of it. Like celebrate your client wins from your perspective. So anytime you have like why you do what you do, right? Just tell people why you love what you do. Just literally go, I got into this because 5 years ago, I was struggling to get clients on social media. And I just had a call with a client, and they'd had an amazing result. And I just like, one of the things that really gets me going and gets me excited is when you see people thriving in their business. And that's why I do what I do, just why you do what you do. It's so simple. And you might think, with all of these posts, Dean, won't people get sick of me doing the same kind of stuff? No, they won't, because every post will be a little bit different. It might be a it might be a win on Wednesday. It might be a kind of, this is why I do what I do, or hey, if you're not sure what I do, I'm just going to explain it. But different people are seeing you every day. I said this to somebody the other day, and I'd love to say it was my idea, right? Where on planet Earth can you get the opportunity to talk to, even if you have a small following on any social channel, a few hundred people every single day for free? Where would you get that? We know that the impressions on LinkedIn and TikTok and YouTube, it's not as easy as it was to get these big crowds. Let's just be honest. It's not as easy as it was to just gather everything. It's like, it's tough. But where else other than social media would you get the opportunity to talk to 200-300 people every single day? And this is the power you've got in your hands. But you have to know, one, who am I talking to? What do I need to be talking to them about? If you don't really zero in on that, right, you're letting those opportunities slip through your fingers. And I just want to share, it's kind of off topic, but I just want to share for a little moment some ways you might be disconnecting. Number one, right? I and you are not your customer, right? Let's just get this out of the room. I've solved the getting clients online issue, right? I can do that hands down, but the people I help haven't. And so that means that I have a different perspective on the world than they do. So my biggest challenge is thinking like my customer, because if I don't do that, I end up talking to myself. And let me just be clear, I don't need my services. You don't need your services. So if you start talking to yourself through your content by literally creating stuff that you think is good, you actually talk to yourself. You're creating content for yourself. And one of the biggest revelations of this to me was one of the biggest performing pieces of content I've ever produced was literally about helping people understand the difference between a first and second degree connection on LinkedIn. I did not appreciate how many people struggled with understanding that. I really didn't, because I thought it was obvious. I thought it was obvious. So I don't think like my customer, because I've overcome the challenges they have. And so I have to spend time literally thinking about what matters to them. What are the little issues that they're dealing with that maybe they don't understand fully, but they've got them going on in their day-to-day? How can I add and help in those things? And that's hard work. That's difficult. So that's one of the ways you disconnect. The other way you can disconnect is literally making it more complicated than it needs to be, adding complexity. Like, if people have got a problem, they want to know quickly, in seconds, you can solve it. But often what we do is we add more complicated stuff into it. We don't say the obvious. So like, I read people's profiles and I go, I can help you solve this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue. Too many things. And people go, I don't need all that stuff. Or they're kind of like I got one yesterday about something. And I'm like, I replied back to them in an outreach message, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Jargon and nonsense and waffle. It's like, tell me what the hell you do, right? And tell me in seconds. I don't have time or energy to figure out what you do. So tell me, are you for me? How are you going to help me? Tell me how my life or business is going to be better because I've worked with you. Tell me, just as simple as possible. And, we complicate things. So 1, we talk to ourselves. 2, we make things complicated. And 3, we don't have a system, right? If you want to get clients from any social channel, I'm not talking about LinkedIn here specifically, you need a system. And that system cannot be, I'll go viral and it'll all work out. I'm sorry. I know that's popular on the internet right now, but it doesn't work, right? It does not work. Oh, sorry, to be fair, it works for a tiny minority of people. So you need a system to be able to convert people with a small audience. If you've only got 500 people on your Instagram, you need a way to get clients whilst you embrace the reality of, I've got 500 people on Instagram. How do you do that? Systems and processes, taking people on a journey. And it's not as simple as, I just post stuff and people will come. You have to give people specific types of content, a specific journey they can go on. And that journey isn't, they do one thing and it's all done. You're going to have to develop a system. And one of the things that I've transitioned to over the last few years doing what I do is helping people build the systems, because you can't really rely on that kind of, I post and it will come anymore. Yeah. Because the algorithms change all the time. Somebody I know, a friend of mine on LinkedIn, commented on my post today and said, literally, my post reach is down by 75% in the last few weeks. And there's lots of people who are saying exactly the same thing. 75% of your engagement is down on some channels, right? So if that can happen, if you can get that rug pulled from you at any moment, why would you build a business? Why would you rest your livelihood on that? So how do you use your Instagram with 500 people to get clients? It can't be post and they'll come. Yeah. As much as I would love it to be, post and they'll come. There's a reason why many influencers talking about, virality isn't the answer anymore and all this kind of stuff is because they've realized it's actually hard to replicate. And the people who were saying, I can help you get 1 million views on your reels, are suddenly going, because we associate if 1 million eyeballs must equal sales. But actually, often it doesn't. So look, how do I talk about my offer without being salesy? How I content, win on Wednesday. Introduce yourself, because you've got a whole load of new people hanging around you. Literally, there's brand new people every day. Share your whys, why you got started, the values, your journey, the stuff that's got you to where you are today. That is the killer way to actually do all this stuff. So look, I'm back. I thought I'd do this video to get started. I like doing live videos. God knows why. But start doing those kind of posts. If you're feeling a bit squeamish about selling what you do, you have to find a way through that. And the way through that is what I've said there. If you want a list of those posts and some examples, just DM me, whatever channel, DM me, and I'll send you some examples. But from here in the UK, thank you for joining me, and hope to see you all on the live soon.